Hello everyone and welcome to my little corner of the internet. My name's Michael and I'm bitten by a radioactive book. It's December 2nd and my pre-Christmas reading is already going on, so I talk about all the books that I plan to read over the course of the month. Let's get started. Let's start off with some books I'm taking with me from November. First off, we have The Crystal Cave by Mary Stuart. This is an Arthurian retelling mainly focused on Merlin. This first book, I think in a trilogy, it might be a larger series, I'm not quite sure at the moment. It focuses on Merlin's childhood, Merlin's adolescence, and it's quite interesting so far. I'm almost done with it. I'm about 85% through. Great writing so far. The plot is so-so for me. It's on a 3.5 star course, but we have to see what the final will bring. And the second book I already started is The Inventions Secret, the first book in Chet Morris's Crackbridge Hall, I think that's what it's called, series. And this is a typical middle grade series. It's about a school in 2047, I think. And the kids have the opportunity to go into the past or relive some events of the past, so I think there's time travel involved. I mainly read that or listen to it as an audiobook while falling asleep, because I wanted something like light and fun and that brings me into a Christmassy mood, and a good middle grade book sounded like a great idea for that. I'm also taking part in a lot of buddy reads this month, so the first book I want to read is A Cavern of Black Ice by J.B. Jones. It's a bit of a, Ice Age type of setting that we have here with a lot of tribal cultures. It sounds very, very interesting. Caitlin from Kitty G already read this book and she loved it. She said that J.B. Jones has a great writing, that she even compared to George R. Martin and Robin Hobb, so this comes with a lot of praise. So I'm really looking forward to read it. I'm reading this with a bunch of other booktubers like Samantha from Novels and Nonsense, Shay from Shay Adventure, Mercedes from Mercy's Bookish Musings, James Chatham and Holly Dunn. And of course Caitlin will join us for the discussion. The next book on my list is Prince of Fools, the first book in, I think the series is called The Red Queen's War, the new series by Mark Lawrence, author of the Broken Empire series. This series is set in the same world. He was, of course, known for his main protagonist, York Ankrak, who was like a very anti-hero. The protagonist in this new series should be more likable, at least, than York was, so we'll find out. I'm going to read this book together again with Samantha from Novels and Nonsense, with Shay from Shay Adventure, with Connor from Connor O'Brien, and with Caitlin from Kitty G. The next book on my list is another buddy read with Shay from Shay Adventure. We planned our buddy reading month together, so there are a lot of books that I'm going to read with Shay, and we picked out Black Wolves by Kate Elliott is the new first book in a new series. I believe it's the same world as one of her older series, I think the Crossroads series. I personally haven't read this, so the world will be new to me, but I learned that you can read the new series without having prior knowledge, so let's try this out. I don't know too much about the book. I know there is some kind of fighting hero that was famous, a mercenary soldier or something in the past, and now needs to come back or something like that, but I'm probably terrible at talking about the plot because I don't really know something about the book. So let's get on and go to the next, shall we? Next up is another buddy read with Shay. It's Traitor's Blade by Sébastien de Castiel. This is really interesting and speaks to me because it is like a fantasy version of the Three Musketeers. So it's not like the Three Musketeers in some alternate reality. It's just people that are like the Three Musketeers in a society that, yeah, is a bit of a kind of Renaissance, or has a kind of Renaissance vibe, and the yeah, people there defending the king are called the Great Coats, and I think they served the king in some, yeah, similar manner than the Musketeers did in the series by Dumas. So I'm really looking forward to see that, yeah, fantasy spin on the theme. And next up we have the final buddy read. This one is with Caitlin from Kitty G. It's the Scarlet Tides, the second installment in David Hare's Moontide Quartet. It's a very interesting story. So we both read the first book and really liked it. It is a typical clash of cultures kind of thing, where we have like one continent that resembles medieval Western Europe, another continent that resembles to some degree a Middle Eastern culture, to another degree the Indian culture. And these two continents are connected by a bridge, by the Moontide Bridge, but the tides are so high that it's only possible for people to cross the bridge I think every 7 years or something like that. And so the conflict between the two continents yeah, always goes on pause at some point, and that, yeah, makes for a very interesting world-building dynamic. We have great characters from like both sides of the conflict. We have, yeah, very interesting characters, male and female, and it's a very good and diverse kind of read. And these are all the books I definitely want to get to this month. All the others now that follow up are things I'm reading on my own, so yeah, we'll see how much I get read of that. Let's start off the list with a book I showed in last month's TBR and that I'm kind of carrying over. I didn't start it yet, but I really want to. It's The City of Golden Shadows by Ted Williams, the first in his Otherland series. This is a steampunk series where I only know that there are a lot of different kind of worlds inside the World Wide Web there. There's some kind of a fantasy world, there are steampunk elements, so yeah, it's going to be a very interesting read. I have read this in the past when it came out in the late 90s, I think, so I have a few recollections of the book, but I never read like the whole series. It's a 4-book series, so I'm really looking forward to read all of the series, because Brock from Let's Read is a huge fan, and yeah, he's always happy when somebody picks up Otherland, and I wanted to do that, yeah, to actually see what the series is about and what I think of it as an adult reader. Next up, I'm going into a little steampunk element, because I really want to like some steampunk. Yeah, that's great. I really already do like steampunk, thank God. So I want to talk about some steampunk books that I find like fitting for this season of coziness. The first would be Changeless by Gail Carriger. I really loved the first book, Soulless, in the series, and I just want to continue with the adventures of Alexia Tarabotti, and yeah, see this like mix of paranormal romance and steampunk going on. The books are quick reads, very light-hearted, so yeah, a light read in between all the bigger epic fantasy books. The next on my steampunk reading list is The Curious Case of the Clockwork Man. This is the second installment in Mark Hodder's series of the adventures of Burton and Swinburne. I loved the first book, The Strange Affair of Spring Heel Jack. Rated at 5 stars. It was one of my favorite books last year, and I actually tried or wanted to get to the whole series this year. This didn't happen, but I really want to read the second book, so it's on my December TBR. And last but not least, we have The Mechanical by Ian Tregillis. This is the first in his, I think it's called the Alchemy Wars series. The second one just came out in December, so that reminded me a little bit that I really wanted to read this book. It's kind of an alternate history where the Calvinist Dutch Empire managed, I don't know if to conquer like the whole world, but to be a dominant force due to their achievement in mechanical engineering, where they created like a clockwork man or clockwork soldiers. And yeah, this seems to be like a very interesting take on yeah, alternate history and steampunk, and so yeah, I'm really looking forward to get to it. So these were all the books I'm trying to get to in December. I have vacation coming up, so hopefully I can get a lot of them read. Yeah, let me know what you're planning to read in December, and as always, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. If you want to see more of me, subscribe to my channel, and until next time, I hope you get bitten by a really good book too. Bye.